Hello, welcome back. The third video demo is going to be on the manufacturing model. But before I proceed with this manufacturing model, I have to talk a little bit more on the product model and how to add products that we go for production. Because on the product model, I've made few modifications to be able to suit the various modules under these sub-modules under this manufacturing model. Especially, we have to indicate the product that is the raw material, the product that is the manufactured product, that's the output of the production process, then the product that is a byproduct, that's especially when you are dealing with one raw material to many output. For instance, when you are producing olive oil from olive fruit, that's oil from olive fruit. So you see that you have the oil and you also have the cake that serves as animal food. So you have to for those products that is called the byproduct, that is the secondary product, that's not the main major product that is kind of being of what is being produced, other product that came out of the production process. So you need to indicate that when you are adding that product, so that when you whichever phase you are, you'll be able to only see the product within that you have specified within that particular category. Then also for your packaging, let's say for instance, after producing this oil, you have to package them in different bottle sizes or in different liters or boxes, or however, this is not just applicable to this. You have other production process that involve you packaging or repackaging the products, or kind of, let me use the word, branding it. So this manufacturing model also helps you to carry out those processes. So going straight to add product module, I have here this particular place. I've created this manufacturing product type. So for you to actually be able to specify products within what they are going to be used for. If the product you are trying to create is not going to be used for the manufacturing process, so it should be on this default type, which is raw material / product. So like here, when you put your mouse over this tooltip, it shows the raw material / packaging consumable materials. So these are what constitutes the raw material and other non-manufacturing products. So this is what you check. If it's a normal product you're creating or an item that doesn't go through manufacturing processes or not an outcome of a manufacturing process, this is what you select it as. But for instance, the olive fruit that I have given to you as an instance, okay, probably we just create that. We use that instances to create our product. So going by that, we first of all create our raw material product, which in this case is going to be the olive fruit. So we create the olive fruit, create a product, call it olive fruit. So olive fruit is going to be our raw material for producing oil, for producing olive oil. So I'll just leave the default here because it's the raw material. So I'll fill all the necessary information. Select the category it belongs to. Let's say it belongs to category 2. Select the unit. Let's say the unit is kilogram, and let's say the cost is let's say 200 or 2000, and the price is 3000. So when you're done, you click on add product. So the system automatically adds this product now as a raw product, as a raw product, just a raw material or ingredient or whatever that you're going to use in the production process. So let's also go ahead and add other manufacturing product types. So now we have created the raw material. So let's create the outcome of that production process. In this case, oil, which is a manufactured product. So when you put your mouse, you see this is the primary / main product being produced. So it means that we have to check this. So let's just call this, we can simply call it oil, or we can call it olive oil. So, but let's just call it oil so that we don't have a lot of olive mixed up here. So let's call it oil. I have that checked. let's say also put it on category 2. It's also measured, the base unit is kilogram, and let's say the cost, let's say 25, and the price is, let's say in the case, let's say 3,000. So you fill out the information you need to fill, then you click on add products, because the essence of doing this is at each phase of the production process, when you are creating the recipe or the formula or the production formula for any of the production, you need to select the manufactured product you are creating the recipe for. So that's why you need to identify this. So right now we have created the raw material, we have created the main output, that's the primary manufactured product from this raw material. Then on the process of manufacturing this raw material, you also have a byproduct that comes out of it. That's the animal food that comes out of it. So let's create the animal food as well. So we proceed to say, let's call it animal food to make it simple, or animal product. Okay, let's call it animal product, or let's make it animal food product. This product is not the primary, just like the byproduct of a manufacturing process. So you have to check it as a by product. So when you put your mouse, it's a secondary product made in the process, in the manufacturing process. So we check it this way. So let also add it under category 2. Let's say the cell unit is also in kg. Then we have the production cost as, let's say, 1,000, cell 2,000. Then once we are done with this, we click on add product. We have created it. Then the next, this oil, when we produce this oil, we're going to have them packaged in different container sizes or bottle sizes to sell them. So that is where the packaging comes in. So we, in this case, or also in this process of packaging, we are going to make use of some materials like the empty bottles of different sizes that will now be filled with the oil. So those empty bottles, we have to also create them on the system as material, because when you are packaging them, you are going to make use of them, and it's expected that the system also deducts the materials that you are going to use in that packaging process. Then this package product too, you also need to as well create it. You also need to create it. So let's say, for instance, now we have, let's create the package product. Let's just have one of the product package. So let's say oil, or let's call this, in this case, olive oil, 4 liters. So let's have this as 4 liters. So have different sizes, but let's just use this. So this is going to be packaged product. If you put your mouse and say package slash the package slash the pack product, not packaging material, but different size of package package product. So I check Dex for Dex, because during the manufacturing process that I'm going to be doing packaging, I'll need to be able to select this product as what will come out of that packaging process. So I select this as category 2. Then I also maybe this the unit is in bottle, so I can say in bottles, or however you want to do it, maybe the pieces or whatever. Okay, I'll select the unit for this packaged product. I'll specify the cost. Although during the manufacturing process, the system automatically calculates and updates the cost based on the various individual cost of the material that was used in the manufacturing process or in the packaging processes. Okay, we'll also get to that by the time I get to that aspect. So I'll click on this and add this. Then one more thing is remaining, that is the material that will be used in the packaging process. So let's say in this case, the empty 4 liter bottle. So we create this, they have to also create this as a raw material before we move over to the manufacturing model. So right here, I'll call it, let me call it empty uh, bottle. So to make it clear, so I generate this. This remains a raw material. This ones that are specified that other product can also be sold through the sold through the cell module. So I also select this. I can put it to select the unit as bottle. Then cost, let's say 50. If we are to sell it, it can be, just specify a price for it, and we'll have this submitted. Okay, we have created the oil, which is the manufactured product, the olive fruit, which is the raw material, the olive 4 liter. This is the packaged product, and we also have empty 4 liter bottle, which is going to be used to package this 4 liter oil. So for the ones the raw materials, you can see all our quantities are 0. So we need to let me use instead we are purchasing to have the quantities here, or I can quickly just use opening stock to add quantities to it. So let me use opening stock so that you also see how the opening stock works. So like I explained in our first video, I said you can have the opening stock added added via CSV import, or from a module that is similar to that of the purchase module. You just have to have the items added here. So instead of going through the CSV method, I will simply have them added here. So let me start by adding the olive fruits. So this is one I have here. Let's say bottle, the empty 4 liter bottle. These are the two raw materials that we have that we need in the production process. So let's just make this 100 of this, 100 bottles of this, and let's see, we have 1000 kg of this olive fruit. So I'll click on this and have it submitted. So by the time I go back to my product, I have the quantity here. I have 100 empty bottles, and I have 1000 kg of this. So okay, before I leave this product model, since I'm already here, let me show you the Kardex report, what it's like. So like I explained, this is the Kardex report shows you a kind of the history, your stock movement, within a period of time. For instance, this olive fruit, now this is the first time it's entering the system, so it's a plus, it's an opening stock. So this is what it is in this warehouse. It shows you the quantity change. 1000 was added. This plus shows you is an addition, and it was added to this warehouse. This is the warehouse quantity. If it's a variant product, it will show you the variant quantity, and this is the overall quantity, and this is the overall variant quantity. If for any reason there is a modification to this entry, you have the date it was modified. Whether the modification is most likely done automatically by the system for any reason. Maybe you have the different status. Maybe the status initially was pending, and then it changes to received. So you have this updated. Okay, so having said this, let's quickly go move over to the manufacturing module and show you the different phases. Okay, for manufacturing process, we can make two examples. I already have some products added for making pizza. So for making pizza, so I will also create the recipe for this. But for the meantime, let's just focus on that of oil. So I'll go back to this place, the manufacturing module. Then add your recipe. The recipe just like how like the formula for the production process. That is the ingredients, the materials that constitutes what you are going to produce. So you need to specify those ingredients and they specify their various quantity for depending on the output you are going to have. So you create the recipe once, then you continue making use of it for your production. So except you can have as many recipes as you want, and you all see them in your production line to call them and use them for your production. So let's create a recipe for the olive oil. So here the manufactured the product, we choose the product you are going to choose the product to be produced. So that's the primary product, in this case oil. And also I said earlier on that in the process of producing this oil, we have another product that comes out of it, that is the byproduct. That's in this case the animal food. So we select the animal food here, then you click on continue. The system takes you to the next phase. So this next phase, now you will need to enter the ingredients, the materials that will be needing for this production process. In this case, we'll only be needing the olive fruit. That's the only material we have. So if you're looking at it, it's just like one material to two outputs. So you're using one material to produce two things, that is the oil and the animal food. So your production process, you can have them in steps. Let's say if it's a production that involve different stages, you can add those different stages as step and add the ingredients that comes in between each of those stages. Have the instruction on how to go about it written down. So that is what this button is all about. So let's say we have more than one ingredient here, but okay, probably we demonstrate this when we are doing that of pizza. Okay, so now what I mean, if you click on this, you'll be able to add ingredients, kind of specify the stage. This is, let's say this could be stage one of the production line. You can write a description about it, then you select the product that comes in here. But in this case, the raw material that comes in here is olive oil, and that's only only raw material we need for this production. So we can, if we assuming we have more than one raw materials for this production, we can have them added in different stages. Okay, but now we just have just one, so you can remove the stages and just have it added here. So once you add this, you need to specify the quantities you are going to, the raw material quantity you are going to be using for this to produce a particular quantity. So let's say, for instance, in this case, we are using 10 kg of this olive fruit, and it's going to give us the main output. That's the primary. Is going to give us, let's say, this 10 kg is going to give us 8 kg of this oil, and probably, let's say, 2 kg. It can be any number, as 2 kg of the animal food, which comes as a byproduct. So if there is any wastage involved or in percentage, you also indicate here. You also can select the unit of this raw material you have added, and also select the unit of the output that you're going, that output of what is going to be produced. If there's any wastage in percentage, also you can also have that added here, and the system sums this up in calculating the final output production cost. So if there is any additional cost, to this production, apart from the cost of ingredient, which the system has already specified here, you can also have them added here. Let's say probably you have additional cost of $100. So this additional cost, it can either be fixed, or it can either be by percentage, or it can either be by per unit of each of outputs. Let's say if we do it by per unit, it's going to do times 8 of this. If you do it by percentage, it's going to do percentage of the initial total cost of what you already have. So if you do it by fixed, you just have, this is like a fixed level amount for producing this particular kg. So it all depends on you how you want to have it calculated. Okay, the same thing goes for the animal food, on how you want to, if you are selling the animal food, what is going to be the production cost of this. So once you have this specified here, you can have your recipe instruction, or you can have a recipe instruction there. So once you have all this specified as your for your recipe, you just have to just click on save, and the system saves that for you. Then by making it available for you to use in the production line. You can view the ingredients in this recipe. You can view it from by clicking on this any place on this row, or you can come to the action menu, have it view. You can edit. You can also have it deleted. Okay, then the next phase is to move to production. If we have come to earlier on the production and click on add production, won't have any recipe to produce from. So that is why we needed to create the recipe earlier on. So here, when you come to recipe, this gives you the list of all the recipes that you have created. The same thing when you come to production, this gives you the list of all the productions you have made, but we have not made any production. So we'll make our first production by clicking on this action menu up here and click on add production. So when you click on add production, you select the recipe of the production you want to make. So once you select it here, it automatically loads the ingredients you have added, and every other information you have provided based on this. This information you can edit. You can edit them directly from here, but that depends if you have enabled that. If you have enabled being able to edit quantity in production, then fine, you'll be able to do that. But if you have disabled it like the way it was, if I enable it now, I won't be able to edit those ingredient costs. But if I disable it, I will be able to edit. So let me enable it and show you what it looks like. So if I go back to production and select add production, and I select this oil that I'm trying to produce, it has loaded the ingredients. I see I can change the quantity of the ingredient here. So this is what it is. Then you select the warehouse where the deduction of the raw material is going to be made to, and it's also in this location where the produced quantity will be added to for this particular oil that we are trying to produce. So having done this, if you're not making any further changes to this, then we move to the production status. We have 3 different production status here. We have pending. At pending stage, the system doesn't do anything to the stock. It doesn't deduct, it doesn't add. So, but in production, once it has moved to production stage, the system deducts the quantity of the raw material from the location you have selected, but it doesn't add the quantity of the produced material until the production is completed. Then at this stage the system also makes sure that you have this quantity available. If the quantity of olive fruits that we have is less than the number we have selected there, the system will not permit you to proceed with this production. So we can move through the various phases. Okay, now we are in production phase. So if I'm to open a list product on a different page, so we already know we have 1,000 of these olive fruits here, 1,000 kg of it. So if I move this to production phase, okay, let's start from pending. If I click on pending and submit this, it has kind of created the production, but it's still on pending stage. So you can also view the content of the production. But if you refresh this, you see that the quantity of the olive fruit still remains the same. So it's only when the status has moved to in production that it actually deducts the quantity. So let's edit this production and change the quantity to in production. So when we submit this back, if we come back here, notice that this has reduced by 10 because the system now automatically deducts the quantity that you're using for production from your stock. So, but what we are producing is still at 0 because the production is still in line. It has not been completed. But once we have this production completed, the system will automatically add the produced quantity, which is 8, to this. Then for the animal food too, it also adds the byproduct quantity to this, which we specified as 2. So let's have this production completed. So by the time we click on edit this again and select the production status as completed. Once we have it completed, we can no longer edit this production again. If you try editing it, the system will say you can edit it again, but you can still view what you really produce and the different quantity of what you produce. Okay, so coming to this, we refresh this our product page. You can see that the animal food will have 2 kg of it now. Then for the oil, we have 8 kg, and this already has deducted 10 kg from it, and that completes the production phase. Then we now move over to the packaging. We want this 8 kg of oil that we have produced, probably have a big tank or a reservoir where you store them from the production line. Then you now have to package them in different sizes, bottle sizes or whatever. That's where the packaging comes into place. So now you have to select what you are packaging the products you are packaging. In this case, we have our oil, and we want to package in 4 liters. In 4 liters, we want to have them packaged in 4-liter bottle sizes. So you have to create just like the way you created recipe for this. You also have to create this packaging, add this packaging contents as well. So once you click on continue, you now have to specify the materials you are going to use for this packaging. In this case, the empty bottle, and we have already created 4-liter empty bottle. So we have to select the 4-liter empty bottle here. So once we have selected this, so we have to be how many of the kg oil that we produce are we going to use here? Remember, we produce 8. So let's say we are packaging the entire kit. Okay, let's say we are packaging and we are packaging 5, and that 5 kg will give us like let's say it's giving us 5 bottles. 5 bottles. So it's giving us 5 bottles. So we just specify that there. Then it means that we are going to use 5 bottles of these empty 4-liter bottles. So the empty 4 liters bottle, we already have 800 there. So by the time we complete this packaging, the system will automatically deduct 5 from this empty bottle 4 liters. So you also just save this. You save this so that it will be available for you to continue with the packaging, the package process. So I click on save. Okay, you have to give the package a name. So we can say packaging of 4 liters oil. So we give that a name and click on save. The system automatically adds that. So when we move over to packaging process and add our packaging, we'll be able to see this packaging of 4 liters oil. So we have to select this. The system loads the quantity that will be used, and the materials that will be used, and the quantity that will be producing. So at the end of this process now, we are going to have 5 deducted from this 8 kg that we have produced. Then we also have 5 deducted from this empty bottle, and we have 5 added to this olive oil 5 liters. So let's go straight and just complete the process. So I click on submit. So this has been completed. By the time I come back here and refresh, you will see that the 4 bottle has reduced by 5. The oil that we produced that was initially 8 has reduced by 5, and we have the olive oil liter added 5 bottles to it. So this is how the manufacturing process goes. You can also do this for a lot of pizza making, you know, but pizza making in this case doesn't really involve packaging, but it can also be involved. So this is it for the manufacturing module. I've been able to explain this better than confusing you. All right, thank you very much. We'll move over to the next stage.